But Kim, I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along with that. But if you remember, he said it. He said this is gonna put you in another dimension.
He definitely did.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Katt, and I look at my producer and he's shaking his head. I'm like, oh man, we done messed up. So I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah.
Did I say something? Did he? He like, this is gonna be the talk of 24.
No way.
I'm like, you think so? He's like, Shannon. And he's looking at me just like I'm looking at you, Cam. He's like, Shannon, this is gonna be viral for the whole year. I said, come on, man.
Not Tyler Perry and Oprah trying to get Shannon Sharpe's show out of here after he exposed them for what they really are.
Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role. We put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? He ain't put nobody on. The people that been in his productions, they not famous. All of them could walk through the mall without security.
So it looks like some people do not like the fact that Shannon's club Shay Shay show is becoming the platform for truth-telling because he just revealed that after this infamous interview with Katt Williams, he received a lot of threads from some very powerful people in the industry who do not like the fact that he gave a platform to Katt to spill the tea about what's really going on behind the scenes. What's even crazier is that this interview with Katt is not the only explosive interview that he's had this year. In fact, right after Katt, he sent the interview on fire again when he asked Monique to the show, and guess who Monique has issues with in the industry? Tyler Perry and Oprah initially. Shannon didn't want to expose them for trying to get his show canceled. But after the constant fight he's been facing with them, he's now letting loose and spilling the tea on everything.
He said, now they're gonna come for you. I said, can't come for me for what? I didn't say anything.
Right.
He said, they're gonna come. And they're gonna say a lot of different things. And they're gonna be some people that you thought you might be able to get that they're not gonna come now.
Right.
And that's absolutely has happened.
Now, as y'all know, Shannon started off the year with chaos when he brought Katt onto his show for a tele-interview. This conversation broke the internet and pretty much set the tone for the rest of the year. In fact, Shannon himself said that before the interview came out, his producer told him that this interview was going to totally shatter the internet, and baby, the producer was not wrong.
I remember when I did Cam, I remember getting up and I turned back and I look at my Katt, and I look at my producer and he's shaking his head. I'm like, oh man, we done messed up. So I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah.
Did I say something? Did he? He like, this is gonna be the talk of 24.
No way.
I'm like, you think so? He's like, Shannon. And he's looking at me just like I'm looking at you, Cam. He's like, Shannon, this is gonna be viral for the whole year. I said, come on, man. I said, so I'm thinking at that point in time, Steve Harvey is my most viewed podcast. He's at 8 million. I said, you think we're gonna beat Steve? He's like, yeah. I'm hoping for 10 million.
Yeah.
That's all, Cam, if I get 10 million, I'm like, that's a pretty good interview.
Yeah.
Think about how few people that's in this space that interview people that don't get 10 million.
For sure.
So if I get 10 million, that's one of the biggest podcasts. Now, that's not Joe Rogan's numbers, but that's pretty good for an up-and-coming podcast. Right. So I felt good. Man. But here's the thing I tell people, if I'd have had Katt mic'd up from the time he got out of the truck until the time he sat down, it'd have done 100 million. Oh, he was on it.
This ruined Shannon's relationship with some people in the industry, and now they're working overtime to get rid of this show because they don't want him to ask more people on to reveal the secrets of the industry. Once all this got to go viral, a lot of people immediately started side-eyeing Tyler Perry and Oprah because there were some rumors going around at the time of the interview that they were trying to get Shannon to take it down, but he was standing viral. A lot of people immediately started side-eyeing Tyler Perry and Oprah because there were some rumors going around at the time of the interview that they were trying to get Shannon to take it down, but he was standing on business and refused. In fact, if y'all remember, Katt himself said at the end of the interview that right after it was posted, Shannon was going to have a lot of people coming at him trying to scare him into taking it down.
A lot of times, and I think I went back and I watched like 30 minutes of it, and I just like damn. Cause I went back and I'm like, damn, he said that? Where was I? He was saying so much that I'm like, but Kim, I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along with that. But if you remember, he said it. He said, this is gonna put you in another dimension.
He definitely did.
He said,
but my mama said, boy, there's power in the tongue.
yes. He told me, and my guy Jordan is over there. He said, now they're gonna come for you. I said, can't come for me for what? I didn't say anything.
Right.
He said, they're gonna come. And they're gonna say a lot of different things. And they're gonna be some people that you thought you might be able to get, that they're not gonna come now.
Right.
And that's absolutely has happened. That's absolutely has happened. They were so excited. Thanks for reaching out. We can't wait to sit down. And a day later, they can't do it. And then no call, they won't follow, so forth and so on. So I understand.
And Katt was 100% right about that, because that's exactly what they're trying to do now. If you all remember, Katt said some nasty things about a lot of people, including Tyler Perry, Oprah, Diddy, Kevin Hart, and any other celebrity you can think of. Absolutely nobody was spared. Katt went in on Tyler Perry for never dressing up as a guy in his movies and always cosplaying as a woman. Katt said the reason why black men like Tyler Perry are made to dress up as women in their movies is because the business wants to emasculate black men.
Martin tried to put me in my first dress. You know, we get in that office and this fool pull out Big Mama's House 2. I almost died. Where this want me to get in a dress with him. And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again? You already played the old lady as an FBI agent. We can play anything now. We can be playing a dog catcher this time. Why do we need to be in a dress? And I get so mad, I say, you don't want me. You want Brandon T. Jackson. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role. We put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? He ain't put nobody on. The people that been in his productions, they not famous. All of them can walk through the mall without security. Be what you gonna be, but put your people on. If you a gay person and you in there, put some other gay people on. Put somebody on. Or don't be wondering why people keep saying gatekeepers. Because clearly, y'all are keeping these gates. Clearly.
And then there's Kevin Hart, who was accused of being a business plan and selling his soul for fame and money.
Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies. These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no, no, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like,
as if this interview wasn't already enough to get Shannon in trouble with the business, he pissed them off again when he interviewed Monique. Once Monique showed up, she didn't play around either, and she took no time in calling out Tyler Perry and Oprah. She went in on Kevin Hart and accused him of betraying her so he could be found in Tyler and Oprah's good graces. According to Monique, Tyler Perry and Oprah used Kevin Hart to stop her bag some time ago. According to Monique, she and Kevin got into it some years ago when he invited her on a special episode of the podcast Gold Mines, where he allowed her to vent about her frustrations in the industry and open up more about how Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey blackballed her after that interview. Kevin told her that he was on her side and that he was going to reach out to Tyler and make him do right by her. However, just days after this, Kevin called her again and said that Tyler wasn't interested in doing anything with her. Kevin then went on to make Monica promise to back any project that she had in mind, and he even went as far as promising to executive produce her projects.
Kevin Hart. Now, you know when Katt Williams said gatekeepers?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, I do his podcast.
Yes.
And I want y'all to re-listen to the podcast so you can hear it for yourself. When he first comes on, he says, you're like my mother, you're like my aunt, you're like my sister. Okay? Then we do the podcast. We speak about the Tyler Perry situation. Oprah Winfrey, he said, I don't really know Oprah, but I'm gonna reach out to Tyler. Appreciate that. Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry. Kevin Hart called me back about maybe a week or so later. He said, Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he don't want to revisit it. He said, but I tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just move past that and let's just do great things. So whatever
That's what Kevin said.
I want you to hear me, Kevin Hart. Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do. Now, let me say that before we go any further, because I want to make sure I give Kevin Hart his proper credit. When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, here you go. We're forever grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top, because I don't ever want nobody to think,
like
me and my husband. So I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out. Then when he came back with, I got you. I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, I'll executive produce, I'll partner with you. I said, good, Kevin, because we're in a deal with Endemol, and we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you. Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world, right? And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive use. They was like, oh, this is incredible, because when you put Kevin Hart's name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
Kevin later backed out, and he sent his boss to tell Monique that he wasn't going to help her with her projects anymore. Monique then hit Kevin up personally to know what was really going on, and he claimed it was some miscommunication and that he was going to get back to her. However, it's been over 2 years now, and he still hasn't addressed Monique since.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky, and Dave Becky said Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Monique.
So what changed between the 2 weeks and plus he gave you a check, you gave the money back, then said he would partner with you, executive produce, whatever you need, Mo, hey, we got you. So what transpired, or what do you think transpired between then, that 2-week period?
Well, soon as we got off the phone and they told us what Kevin's manager, David Becky, said, I called Kevin Hart immediately. I said, hey, baby, we just got off the phone with Endemol, and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, you don't want anything to do with me. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication. I can tell you right now. I said, wait a minute. Are you okay, though, with this white man calling them up? Getting in between our relationship after something you said? He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication, and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again. So that's what we're faced with. When you allow somebody to come in between a relationship with a woman that you said, I'm like your mother. You said I'm like these things. I didn't ask you for that.
So, as you all can see, she's back-to-back interviews with Katt and Monique really did a number on Tyler and Oprah. He basically gave a platform to them to expose Tyler Perry and Oprah for what they really are, and from the looks of it, they ain't like that very much because they're now trying to get a snatch from him. In Shannon's recent interview with Cam Newton, he said the reason why people like Katt and Monique feel comfortable enough to speak their truth and expose gatekeepers like Tyler Perry and Oprah when they come on his platform is because he allows them to speak freely without having any preconceived notions or trying to spin their words around to fit the narrative that the industry wants to put out there.
I asked Monique. Monique said Oprah asked her to interview for a role, to go read for a role. She went and read for the role. Oprah ended up getting the role. I said, Mo, did you ever think they were looking for a heavyset black woman? And it wasn't because the industry was against you.
Right.
She said, my brother, I didn't think about it like that. But see, they don't mention that.
Right.
Because that wouldn't, I've got to try to do something to try to quell this momentum that this wave that Shannon is riding. So any way I can try to undercut him or to make him look like I'm not a journalist. I never told anybody I was a journalist. I said I'm a conversationalist. But what people are upset about is that for some reason people come to me and I don't look at them with judgy eyes. I have no predetermined notion or preconceived notions, and they open up to me.
Right.
That's what they're upset about. Because if you look at a lot of these people that's been on other podcasts, they don't do the views that they do when they come on Club Shay Shay.
Correct. Because that's a testament to you and the environment or the atmosphere that you give.
Yes.
It's very comfortable. Mm-hmm. People want to render their story in a way where, like you say, you let them talk. Mm-hmm. But also being into this person that you've become, more equipment or artillery is being shot at you.
Yeah.
Shannon also said that he was surprised by how much hate and threats he's been getting from the higher-ups in the industry because he didn't know his interview with Katt was going to get them this route up. He definitely pissed a lot of them off and made a whole bunch of enemies, and now they're trying to get him out of the position that he's currently in. What's even crazier is that Shannon's interview with Katt almost never happened because he was trying to get Katt on the show for over a year, but all his attempts failed. It was like certain people in the business were intentionally blocking it from happening because they knew the effect that it would have once it premiered.
It's almost as if Katt chose you.
He did.
You feel me? To have that platform to say, hey, listen, because Katt
he doesn't do it.
Just like you don't do sit downs, you see what I'm saying?
Kim, I've been trying to line Katt up for a year. I tried to line him up for a year. People don't know this, but Katt doesn't like to fly. He normally takes the bus. He takes a tour bus pretty much everywhere he goes. And so he wasn't gonna be on that side of town in LA, in California. Right hand to God. I go to my agent's office on a Friday. Mm-hmm. I'm getting off the elevator. As I'm getting off the elevator, a lady's getting on.
Right.
She said, hello. I said, hey, how you doing? I'm Shannon Sharpe. She tells me her name. She's like, I've never seen you here before. I said, yeah, my attorney's here, Marvin. She said, oh, I love Marvin. I love Allison, who's his daughter. She said, oh, I said, I've never seen you here. I said, I've been coming here 3-4 years. I've never seen you. She said, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm just not meeting you. She said, today is my last day. I said, what? She said, yeah, today is my last day. I said, you got a new job? She said, I'm leaving to be Katt Williams tour manager. I say, I've been trying to get Katt for a year. That was a Friday. The next Friday, Katt sitting in that chair.
Look at God.
The next Friday, Katt sitting. I've been trying to line Katt up for a year. The next Friday, after meeting her, Katt sitting in the chair. He comes in. I say, anything you want to talk about? I'm here, brother. We gonna talk about it all. Oh, really? Boom. The thing was, if you go back and look at the interview, after I introduce him, we take a sip of the cognac, we laughing and talk, and we do our thing. I'm getting ready to go. He takes off. I got to make a split-second decision, Cam. Do I reel him back in, or do I let him go for 30?
You gotta let him go. Knowing what I know, you know what I'm gonna say.
That's it. I let him go.
Child Shannon was not holding back in this interview, and he said everything he needed to say. His show has now become the place you go when you need to identify the giants in the industry, and they are not going to stop coming for him until they've successfully gotten it. I mean, the fact that Katt even warned him about it just makes you know the hell he's got to be going through right now simply for doing the right thing. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said they want his show because his guests expose their shady behavior. Keep up the good work and fight for what's right. Another person said they're trying to cancel it because dude talks facts and they know they're full of crap and they deserve everything they get at this point because what in the world? But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Tyler Perry and Oprah trying to cancel Shannon's show? And do y'all think Shannon should keep making these truth-telling talks or back down? Y'all know what to do. Let me know your ideas in the comment section down below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.